for all the information which we process it either through our senses or cognitively. In this particular set of toys, I'll be talking about toys for children below 1 year of age. That means children who have not yet started speaking up single words. Correct? By 12 months they speak up one word. Done. So, if everything which the child processes or would be knowing about is either sensorily given in or cognitively processed, then we should know about the sensory inputs. There are 7 sensory inputs. To begin, there are 5 far senses, 2 near senses. The 5 far senses are visual, auditory, tactile, taste and smell. 2 would be the vestibular and the proprioceptive. So the joint and the balance would be the other 2. Clear? So the first thing, because in the first year the child is very much dependent upon inputs which are coming in. So we are giving toys to stimulate all the 7 sensory inputs. Okay? The first major sense would be the visual sense, let's say. So to stimulate of the visual sense, we should be having anything, especially from 0 to 3 months, we should be having anything which is very contrast in color, has bold patterns to it, and can be touched by the child, can be squeezed in, and if some additional input is also there. So you can see bold patterns which are there, you can see the mirror there, so the child is interested in this. So visual development, especially in 0 to 3 months, when the child is just holding things, feeding, putting things into mouth. Similarly, there are some dangle toys which can be used by the child. Okay. So if you just drop out the toy and then shake it in front of the child would be tempted to reach out the toy. So the child, based upon a visual cue, is actually manipulating the motor muscles, and this is taken up as an excuse to initiate a communication. Done. So we are actually using this particular toy, a particular sense, to establish a joint attention. That's more important. Giving the toy to the child is not important. Remember that. Similarly, to speak out stories. Okay, we'll go into this. These are very commonly used out. So we have contrast patterns in it. So the child below 1 year of age can very well hold it, mouth it out, see the patterns, manipulate them. There are other uses also, but from the visual perception perspective, this will be the thing which will be used in. We can use out a set of puppets to tell stories. Again, remember, puppet is not the thing. Puppet is a prop which is being used with the child to convey out something. So it will be as simple like 1, 2, 3. It will be as simple as this. But we are using a prop for the purpose to develop out a joint attention. Remember that. That's what communication is. Then, okay, hand puppets. We have finger puppets as well. So you can see. Now by 1 year of age, the child starts developing out some idiomorphs. So you can use the finger puppets like this, and something like this can be done. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Croc, 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 croc. That is a frog. And ready? 1, 2, 3. Meow, meow. That's a cat. Croc, croc, meow. So this can be played out with the child. Now we are using these finger puppets for the purpose of developing out a joint attention with communication development. Keep that in mind. So visual perceptual development, masks. A major concept which comes in for children is the concept of object permanence, which means that if something is not in front of you, has not disappeared out, it's there. So we can always use this particular mask. Talk to the child and 1, 2, 3, boom, something like this. Where is mama? Where is mama? This is mama. Okay, something like this. So this encourages out the concept of object permanence. Simple tools, like for instance, we can just use a cloth, the dupatta or the sari pallu, to do 1, 2, go near the child puts it home. It's a visual perception activity which is actually facilitating out the development of a concept known as object permanence. Once the child has this concept, the child will be knowing that yes, if I am talking about the dog, not necessarily the dog should be there. So by 1 year this appears out. Because this appears out, single words appear out. Similarly, we have a set of auditory development tools. Now remember, we have to give a rich input of different auditory stimuli. So it may be, so we can grade out stimuli based upon, let's say, this is a low frequency, again a low frequency, this goes as mid frequency, this goes as a high frequency. High frequency sound, for sure a high frequency sound. Squeaky toys are there. These are high frequency sounds, correct? So these set of sounds are exposed out to the child, but remember, it's not about exposing sounds. If you have to develop communication, a joint attention has to be established out while doing these. Remember that. So if you are using this, you have to initiate a communication with the child. Maybe the child is feeding 1, 2, 3. You feed it. Now we'll feed this particular rabbit. Something you have to. This is to be used as a prop to initiate out communication. These are tools, simple tools, which amplify out sound. So you can put a battery here, amplify the sound. It amplifies out the signal, and the child is interested in talking about or listening to these particular things. Trumpets are there. These are very good source of high frequencies. So a set of auditory development tools, auditory stimulation kit, low frequency, mid frequency, and high frequency. A major sense is the tactile sense, the sense of touch. Simple tools like these are mats, non-toxic and child-friendly. These can be just laid out, and the child can be allowed to play on these. So you can see this is a different texture. This is a different texture. There can be many others. This is a different texture. This is a different texture. These can be, a child below 3 months of age can be just left on it. We have something known as a squeaky mat. If the child is left on this and the child changes position, then a particular sound comes in. Okay? So the child knows that if I change in position, a particular sound will come in. So tactile as well as auditory development happens out. For children who are 0 to 3 months of age, teethers are something which are very essential. So these teethers are to be given to them. They hold it, they mouth it, they shake it, and they know that if they do something, there is something which is happening in. They know that there is a property of a few things. Something which looks like this actually tastes like this. While something which looks like this may be tasting, or maybe feeling, or maybe having a texture which is different in nature. So teethers are very important to be given, especially during the first 3 months of life. Other tools, like we did this month, now we have, yes, this is another important and a very influential tool. This is hung to a pram. By 3 months of age, the child is very reflexive, so does things because of reflexes. By 3 to 8 months of age, the child starts doing certain things which are given interpretation by the caregiver. Okay? And the child slowly learns out that he can reach out to things, he can bring about a change in things. So if you hang up something like this on the pram, it attracts attention, stimulates the baby, and encourages the baby to touch it, kick it, and allows the opportunity for the mother to initiate a conversation. So such toys are to be given, especially for babies who are still on the pram. In the pram, we can put in soft ball toys like this. These give a very good idea about how you feel things, tactile integration. We can make it small packets like these, which can be put into the child's pram. So this is having cotton in it, these are having some beans into it, this is having some sand into it, and this is having some marbles into it, right? So these all have different weight and different textures. So automatically you can keep this on the baby can hold it, it helps the child develop on the grip, proprioception, tactile sense, and these should be non-toxic, of course, in nature. Another 3 things which are very important for the development of the near senses, that is vestibular and proprioceptive senses, are a sand bath, especially when the child learns how to sit down. A sand bath is a very good tool. You can leave the baby inside the bath and allow the baby to explore out things. It can have some toys into it. Similarly, the baby can be put into the whirlpool and it gives a very good idea about the tactile sense, the proprioceptive and the vestibular sense. There can be another tub where you can leave the baby inside water and the child can have a good bath as well as a good exploration about the child's own body. Another good tool is actually a therapy ball. So this therapy ball very much gives an idea about the proprioceptive as well as the vestibular sense. You can put the child supine, you can put the child prone, you can put the child sidewise. This will be a very beneficial tool to develop out vestibular and proprioceptive integration. But remember, putting the child on this does not encourage communication. You have to establish a communication and a joint attention with the child. That's for sure. Those small balls, shoes, can you give me? Yeah, these shoes are also important because as the child walks, by 1 year of age, can put in the shoes and as the child walks, the sound is there. So he knows that this particular motor movement is associated with a particular sound and can intentionally do this. So these are all good tools. Other tools like these, bowling tools, other tools like these building blocks which the baby can hold. These wooden blocks, very good ones. They can be clubbed over each other, they can be banged. So the baby starts knowing that yes, he can hold in things, there are grip to be developed out, things can be stacked over each other. Okay? And by 6 to 8 months of age, the child starts developing turn taking. It's an essential skill for communication because I am talking, you are listening. You talk, I listen. That turn comes in from play. So by 6 months and above, this turn taking games may be using out these blocks, may be using out some basic tools to create out idioms like your turn, give, or stacking out rings. Such things have to be established out and such things have to begin out by 8 months to 1 year of age. So these tools in general shall be helping the baby to know quite a bit about the grasp, about the visual integration. These links are also very important for the child to know about literacy, numeracy concepts, knowing about how to grasp out things. Okay, wooden tools, such links which can be just, okay, they help the child to know about the joints, how it is held out, how something can be changed into a particular shape. So these stimulate our cognitive concepts, these stimulate out some amount of sensory capacities, and if we know how to initiate out some communication, then the communication also developed out. So these are the set of tools or these are the set of toys which can be used for a child below 1 year of age to develop communication in 3 stages. Stage number 1, pre-intentional, 0 to 3 months. That is, everything is reflexive. Stage number 2, intentional behavior. Reactions are non-intentional, but the caregiver interprets out meaning. The child would be reaching, pushing, eye-pointing people. 8 to 12 months, the child becomes aware that his attempts are bringing about some change, and now the child develops out some idioms, that is baby words, bobo, meow meow, dede, for hot tata, for water mamam, and he initiates out conversation and communication along with some motor gestural behaviors like eye contact. Okay, so now you are sure about what are the tools to be used out for children below 1 year of age. 7 senses, development of object, permanence, eye contact, turn taking, joint attention is essential for any communication to emerge. Correct? Understood?